It's been over 1 week since the merger between Six Flags and Cedar Fair occurred, and since that time, not really much has happened. But just like with any recent merger companies, the results of their ambitions will take time to see out. What makes me excited and a little worried is how this merger will affect everyone, from the most hardcore enthusiast to the classic family park goer. And since you fall somewhere along that range, I'll explain and speculate what the combination of these two major park chains means to you. My name is Avery, and this is United Coasters. I like to start off by saying that I'm more biased in the analysis of Six Flags parks, only because I made an entire video talking about their new direction last year, and I worked as a ride operator for them in the past. That being said, if it feels like my criticism is more targeted towards them than Cedar Fair, well, it's because it is, but I'll get into that later. First, let's talk about the facts. On July 1st, Six Flags Entertainment Corporation and Cedar Fair Entertainment Company finalized a merger agreement, cementing them as a major player in the amusement park industry, rivaling the likes of Disney and Universal. This merged company is called Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, since Six Flags is more of a household name than Cedar Fair. In terms of CEOs for each company, both Richard Zimmerman and Salim Basul are staying from Cedar Fair and Six Flags respectively. However, Zimmerman will stay in the role of CEO and Basul was moved to executive chairman. According to CNN, this is an $8 billion deal allowing the new company to own 42 properties, 27 amusement parks and 15 water parks, as well as 9 resorts. Spanning across North America, that means they own parks as far north as Canada's Wonderland and as far south as Six Flags Mexico. Altogether, this should bring the new company a revenue of $3.4 billion and save $200 million due to the consolidation. The most important thing that will remain the same is that all parks will keep their name. So we can all breathe a sigh of relief knowing that Cedar Fair's flagship parks won't be called Six Flags Cedar Point or Six Flags Kings Island. Ugh. The same might go for kids-themed areas too, considering both original companies either have or are investing heavily into new DC-themed areas and Camp Snoopies for their respective parks. So what's going to change first? Now for the common park goers, the first thing that I expect most people to see a change in is the company's IPs. In the past, both companies owned iconic IPs, with Cedar Fair owning the rights to Peanuts characters and Six Flags owning both Looney Tunes and DC. With the merge, don't be surprised to start seeing exclusive meet and greets with DC characters at, say, King's Dominion, or taking pictures with Charlie Brown at Six Flags Over Georgia. This may just start off as an event for the holidays in the later parts of this year and become a permanent thing later. Another no-brainer would be the incorporation of better food at Six Flags parks. I've only been to Knott's Berry Farm, but seeing that Cedar Fair Park having a Panda Express and a TGI Fridays makes me excited about the potential of food variety in the coming years to all parks. Another thing I could see changing is the marketing of new rides and attraction reveals in the upcoming years. When Jimmy Anderson was CEO, Six Flags would unveil multiple attractions in one video showcasing new stuff for almost every park. Now with over 20 amusement parks, it would be a great time to bring that back in some capacity, especially if the Cedar Fair marketing team can keep doing episodic updates like they did for Top Thrill 2. Although, a big downside to this new company would most likely be the closure of parks in the coming years. Fiscally, it's an obvious choice to consolidate or flat out close or sell parks in smaller markets. And we already know that California's Great America is closing in 2033, so I believe that other closures will be a realistic possibility. Over the next decade or so, I wouldn't be surprised to see the selling of parks like LaRonde, Valley Fair, and Frontier City due to lack of attendance. And since we're talking negatives, then let's address the biggest one in prices. In order for all parks to benefit from improvements like food quality, better attractions, shows, and general maintenance, the prices for just about everything from food to general admission will rise to accommodate that. I only feel like it's a necessary evil only if the parks actually show improvements because of it. These are just some of the immediate changes I can see in the minds of an everyday park goer, but park enthusiasts like myself have their minds set on one thing: season passes. Imagine just one pass that can get you into Magic Mountain, Canada's Wonderland, Schlitterbahn, Six Flags Mexico, and Cedar Point. Imagine if that same pass can get you free parking and a meal at each park. There would be so many possibilities of a cross-country coaster road trip, and I'm all for it. However, the price of a pass like that would be costly, considering its value, and that all access season passes for both chains range from about $200 to $400. I wouldn't be opposed to a $500 all-access pass. That said, I'm more inclined to believe what other coaster YouTubers have said about it, and that we would have passes for select regions of North America, such as a California pass, getting you access into parks like Knott's and Magic Mountain, or a Texas region, allowing you to visit Fiesta Texas, Six Flags Mexico, and both Schlitterbahns. I can see this regional pass being a cheaper option compared to an all-access, ranging from around $300 to $400, depending on the region. Finally, the last thing I want to touch on is coaster relocations. Considering that park closures are inevitable, we could see their coasters go to different places. Think Railblazer going to Discovery Kingdom, or Vampire at LaRonde heading up to Canada's Wonderland. This is something that would be in the distant future, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Regardless, the merger of Six Flags and Cedar Fair will create major changes to the coaster world. And in opposition to my pessimistic video I made on Six Flags, I hope that some, if not all, of my speculations show up in some shape or form down the line. If this truly is a joint venture, then Cedar Fair needs to be the one to make up for Six Flags' shortcomings, and vice versa. This outlook leaves me with a more optimistic view for the merged Six Flags in the years to come. If you agree, disagree, or have some more input on this topic, don't be shy to let me know in the comments. And if you stayed this long, consider subscribing and liking the video. It really helps. Lastly, I just want to say thank you for watching, and remember to stay united.